I get a lot of people asking me how, like when it comes to motorcycle ECU flashes and things, how does that process work? I literally just got finished spending like hours and hours and hours responding to messages and things. So I'm gonna make a little video talking about that. All right, we're gonna talk about mail-in ECU flashes, and I'm gonna give you guys some demonstrations of some things. So like on my particular bike, this is a 2009 Yamaha R6, and this is where the ECU is located. Most ECUs are located in this like area for the most part, but like on my Yamaha R6, I meant my Yamaha R1 M, the ECU is on the side of the bike. And like on the Hondas, typically it's under the tank up here. You know, so it could be in a wide range of places, but for the most part, most of them like are right up in here. So when somebody says a mail-in ECU flash, like what I offer, what I do is I get them to take this off, they send it to me, and I'm able to plug into it as if I had the bike here with me. So if you stay in, you know, whatever, Hawaii, and you wanted a tune, you would take this off, send it to me. Once I get it, I plug into it, I upload, you know, whatever it is I'm gonna upload to it, and I mail it back, and your bike is tuned. Now you can do an ECU flash and not have a tune, so it is different levels too as far as like how that works, because some people, when they do a mail-in flash, it may just be unrestricting the bike. That's why typically you will see like prices that range like so much. Like you might see a $100 flash, and you'll be like, oh man, that's cheap. Well, it may be cheap because it's only unrestricting the bike, but it's not actually tuning it. And you know, that's one of the differences between like the cost and stuff. So let me give y'all a demonstration. I'm gonna pop my ECU out. I'm just going to, usually you got like some little tabs that kind of hold it in place. Or some of them even have like a little, like the, what is it called? Kind of like a little support, like a plastic piece over it or something like that. It just depends, but in mine it's just these little, on the R1, I meant the R6, I keep saying R. On the R6, they got these little clips. So I mean, it's very easy to take out on this bike. And I would just, that wire right here that's hanging out, this goes to the tip sensor. And for me to tune like these particular bikes, I have to unplug the tip sensor. But usually when you're done, you want to plug that back up, because the tip sensor is basically like a tip over sensor. So if your bike, if you go down, this right here is what lets the bike know that, hey, this bike is leaned over, it needs to turn off. So basically try to help save the motor. But let me get this out now. So let's say that this ECU, let's pretend that this is your ECU. You would send this to me, I would get it, bam, I got your ECU. This right here, fancy device, this is what you call a bench harness. And this is basically what allows you to plug into the other people's ECU to tune it. So let me demonstrate. Plug in this fancy little device that I have, like that. Now bam, now you see this only goes to this, but this right here goes to my tuning box. And then this part right here goes to this fancy contraption. Now, whenever doing these, you have to have a 12-volt source, a 12-volt source. And this right here is just a random device that me and my homie Solo went to buy. And basically, it gets plugged into the wall. It just plugs into the wall, and then this is what powers the whole system. And then once you plug it into that, it plugs into that, and then it all works together. And then I can hook it up to my computer, and I can literally flash this just how I would if this bike was sitting here. And all flashes are not created equal. All tunes are not created equal. It's a lot that goes into this thing. So I'm going to give you a perfect demonstration of how it's important to have tuning set up right, quick shifter, like the weight of the bike, the fuel, all that stuff. I'm going to give you a perfect example of that right now. that video is the before and the after. The before is basically the camera bike. The camera bike is the exact same in both videos, no difference of nothing. They 100% the exact same. Now in the first video, the R6, it was on a different tune. You know, I'm not gonna say the company's name because I'm not trying to make this a tuner versus tuner thing. That's not why I do this. It's a different tune on it. There's, I think it was a different exhaust. I know the quickshifter was different, and I believe the gearing as well. I'm not sure for sure about that. But in the second video is after I tuned it. The setup was different. Went with a different quickshifter because the first video I had the OEM Yamaha quickshifter, and then in the second video as well, there was a little more weight reduction. We tuned it for E85, and I recommended changing the gearing back to stock. I don't think he went to stock. I think it just was like a negative, I meant a +1 or +2 in the rear or something like that. And then that's the outcome. And that's what I always be saying when I be speaking to people about how everything matters. You know, I mentioned this in other videos that every piece of the puzzle adds up, you know, to make the whole thing. All right, so let's pretend I got your ECU plugged in right now. I'll go here. I'll find out which bike you have. And any bike listed on here is basically bikes that I can tune. All right, so I got your ECU plugged in. All right. Over here is just a list of all the bikes that I'm able to tune. So let's just say that this one that I'm tuning right now is, let's say it's the exact same model as mine. Let's say it's a 2009 Yamaha R6. So these are like all of the wide range of ECUs from all different countries and places. But like here, you know, just for example purposes, let's just say this is a US ECU. All right, so right now, this is the beginning stages, but what I want to show you is, let's go to show you some things. So like right here, this is the throttle mapping. I just use 6 gear. And this is just where you go to change like the throttle and all that other stuff, restrictions, all that stuff. So let's go here. On the R6, you see right here? You see that number? That says 75.9. So that means if you're out with your buddies, y'all are having a good time, y'all blasting down the highway, you got the throttle pinned all the way back, you're like, oh yeah, I'm making, you know, my bike's fast. Well, you're only getting 75% throttle, buddy. So you still have an extra 25% of throttle that's available to you, which is horsepower. Now you can see on the R6 that it goes to 100% from, what is that? Is that 95? Let me see. Oh, from 10,000 to 13.5. And after you get past 13,500 RPMs, it starts dropping. It drops to 92 at 13.7. And then it drops to 83 at 14,000. Then it drops at 14.5 to 78. Then it goes to 75. And then that's where it stays. And this is, even though that's still, you know, bad for performance, it gets even worse on different bikes. Let's use the, let's go to another one. Let's use the Kawasaki 636, the new one that I tuned one recently. And it just goes to show you that, you know, when people ask, is it worth getting the ECU flash? I mean, to me, yeah, because you can greatly improve a lot of things. Like, check this out. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go to the throttle map. Let's go to 6 gear. Let's go down. Now, you see on this, similar situation, this one starts at 9,000. goes to 100% to 12,000 only. And then it drops to an astonishing 69%. And that opens up a little more. I think in the upper RPM, the lower RPMs, I think it's even less. Yeah, 63%. So you're wide open throttle pinned all the way and you're only getting 60% throttle. So as you can see, there's a lot of gains to be made just in unrestricting the bike. So when people may get a simple flash and they unrestrict it, the bike is naturally going to be faster anyway, because it's getting this full throttle opening and it's getting this max airflow. But you can also maximize that even further by tuning it, adjusting the fueling for the newfound airflow. And that's where the majority of the gains come from when it comes to doing this. And another thing with guys like that I tune and stuff, a lot of people have to understand that you can't change physics. And what I mean by that is, if you have a 200-pound guy and he's racing a 150-pound guy, and let's just say for example purposes that they all on the same bike, same tuner, same everything, that 50-pound difference, if both of those guys know how to ride, the 50-pound the lighter guy is going to win. I mean, that's nothing you can do about that. Even if you are a heavier guy with the best tune in the world and you go race some guy that's half your size, I mean, that's really nothing you can do about that. So, you know, I know a lot of people, when it comes to this stuff, they get kind of caught up into like, you know, well, I got beat by this, or I got beat by that, or, you know, how can we, you know, adjust the tune to make it quicker, or, you know, something like that. I mean, it's nothing really you can do, really. I mean, outside of, I mean, you can put some nitrous on there, or build a motor, or do something else to make up your weight difference, but that, like I said, you can't beat physics. I mean, that's just what it is. The lighter guys are always going to win when everything is equal. That's just like in drag racing. Most of those guys don't even race their own bikes. They put lighter weight guys on it so they can win races. Like the guys who do that stuff like grudge racing, that race for money all the time, they go find the lightest guy they can ride, they put them on there. There's a reason why they do that, because the lighter you are, the faster you are. The bigger you are, the slower you are. I mean, that's just what it is. But if any of you guys are interested in getting a mail-in flash from me or something, I mean, you can reach out, leave a comment. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram. My Outspokentiger is my username on everything. So my email, if you still prefer email, is contact@outspokentiger.com. Heck, you can even reach me on my website. It's www.outspokentiger.com. I have a contact form on there. And I also have like some shirts and stuff. I know winter's coming. It's probably already winter for some of you guys for the most part. But, you know, if you want a hoodie, long sleeve, t-shirt or whatever, you can get on there and, you know, see if you like something. If you do, you know, place an order, because every little bit helps me, you know. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and finish trying to do something in here. I got a big project coming up that I know is gonna be really, really dope. I'm not gonna say what it is just yet, but just know that there's a really dope project coming. But I'm gonna let you guys go, and I guess I'll go back and get online and do some networking and respond to some messages or something. But I appreciate all the support and everybody, you know, that come to the channel and all that good stuff. I really do appreciate that. Have a good day.